Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to talk about Microsoft's big balls news. Microsoft recently just acquired Zenimax, which is the parent company to Bethesda, which is huge, for $7.5 billion. That's a lot of money. But yeah, let's talk about this because Microsoft in the last couple of years have been acquiring studios, and just to give you a little quick reminder of what we've got Compulsion Games, the guys that did We Happy Few. We've got Double Fine Productions, the ones that do like Psychonauts, things like that. In Exile, the guys responsible for the Wasteland series. They obviously have Mojang, they have Ninja Theory, who did Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, as well as the DMC Devil May Cry. Obsidian Entertainment is working on, who've done various RPGs like The Outer Worlds, Fallout for New Vegas, things like that. They've obviously got Rare, they've got the Coalition, which is like mainly the Gears series. There are a lot of studios that Microsoft now have, and then they now have Bethesda and pretty much all of its studios. So now they've got things like Doom and Fallout and Elder Scrolls and those huge IPs that Bethesda have under their, the companies under the publishing wing and things like that. So yeah, short term, this probably isn't going to do a lot for Microsoft, because you got to bear in mind most games coming to their systems will already be in production, already be planned out, right? And this includes all their studios. But the reason why this is going to be long term really good for Microsoft is because now they have all these studios, right? When you think of Nintendo and you think of Sony, you think of their first party output. Like Nintendo, have some of the biggest names in gaming. We've got the Super Mario series, we've got the Mario Kart series, we've got Zelda, Pokemon, Animal Crossing. Those are like the big ones, and that's not including things like F-Zero, Earthbound, like Advance Wars. What else have they got? They've got all the Mario Sports series, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. And I know not all of those series are huge. Like Advance Wars isn't up there with Mario or anything, but when I think of Nintendo, I think of Fire Emblem's another one. I think about the fact that they have these big hitter names, and the same for Sony. Maybe not quite as much in degree of as many, but they've got things like God of War, they've got Horizon, they've got Ratchet and Clank. Obviously they used to have Crash, and they've got, I think, Jack and Dexter. They've still got Sly Cooper, Last of Us, Uncharted. So they've got this big collection of first party exclusives. Microsoft are building towards that, and they're building towards that very, very hard. If you look at the studios they own, and then you look at this Bethesda acquisition, man, their future's going to be looking good. So, there's a good chance a lot of Bethesda's games that end up getting made, or the ones that are getting made in the moment, will come out on other systems. Because Microsoft has said they're going to honour contracts for exclusivity, they're going to honour the fact that these people are working on these games. And there's a very high chance that most of those games, like Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, is it Starfield? I think that's what it's called. Whatever the next couple of games are that they've been working on, are probably all going to come out on either PlayStation 5 PC, maybe some Switch stuff, who knows. Microsoft are pretty good at playing ball like that, to be fair to them. They have brought a lot of stuff to Switch, so you can't really complain too much. But they're building up a massive set of teams for very good exclusive games. They've already got the Halo franchise, and you can say what you want about that, but that is a heavy hitter, And now they're going to have the likes of Doom, and it's kind of crazy. It's really out of left field buy. Microsoft got that money to really, bulk out their studios and what they want to put out on their system. I've spoken about how I think I was thinking about getting an Xbox Series S, all digital, getting Game Pass. And they're saying that all these Bethesda games are going to be day and date launching on Game Pass the same time as they are physically. And that's pretty crazy. You can't ignore the value that Game Pass is starting to give people. And we're seeing that Microsoft is more interested in that, I think, than so much the hardware and the physical releases. But hey, that's kind of the charm of it. But this is big news. It does make me think that, like, you know, we could see maybe Sony or somebody else doing this. But then again, you know, Sony and Nintendo are Japanese companies. You know, they seem to work together with other companies rather than buying them. Because I've always said, you know, oh, wouldn't it be great if Nintendo bought like Konami, got those IPs, or like bought Capcom or Sega or something. But because they can kind of work together really well, the same with Sony and a lot of their Japanese companies. You'd think Sony would buy like Square Enix, like that'd be like a huge get for them. But like, they kind of don't need to, because they have such good working relationships. So, you know, I'd be interested to see if Sony goes after any studios, you know, down the line. I know I think they bought Insomnia, or Insomniac Games, not too long ago. But they've got, all three of these companies have, and now, I would say now, have got a hell of a lot of good pedigree underneath them. You know, Microsoft maybe have always been a little bit lacking on that, but like now, I don't think we can be taking what Microsoft are bringing for granted. They've got a lot of good studios working on a lot of games at the moment, and this is just putting on top of that. Phil Spencer has come out and said he wants a Japanese studio. That'd be crazy. Like, who could Microsoft buy? Pretty much anyone. I could see Microsoft buying like, who's like big over there? So probably the only one would be Sega. I feel like Capcom and Square would probably be like off limits. But imagine that. Imagine if they bought Sega or something. That'd be crazy. Suddenly owning the Sonic license. Whew. But I could definitely see them going after. It might even be a smaller one. They could probably buy a smaller Japanese studio. But it's utterly crazy that the time that we're in right now, where Microsoft, though, are swinging and hitting hard, really bringing their A game. It feels like, again, the launch of these systems is going to be a little bit weak, but give it a year and a bit, like into 2022, I feel like this is going to be really competitive. You know, there's systems, there's a nice set of variables there, like you got different sets of prices, different sets of power, you know, and right now Sony's definitely got more kind of exclusive stuff on launch, but that's only going to last like the first year. After that, it's going to pick up, I feel, for Microsoft, and it's going to be really competitive. I mean, but either of them can stumble at this point. Obviously, with the global pandemic, it also might make things a lot harder, because people can't seem to get hold of pre-orders either. But, you know, getting hold of consoles is going to be tough. But I'm really excited now. Seeing Microsoft come out and just buy Bethesda straight up, I'm like, oh, that was out of left field. But really excited to see that, you know, they're very serious about bringing and pumping money into like really good studios. And Bethesda need money to, well, they probably don't need money, but they need more time in the oven with a lot of their games. They sometimes get a pass on the fact that their games are a little bit buggy, and they've also got to live up to things now. Like, Obsidian made Outer Worlds. Some people will say it's better than the last couple of Fallout games, you know, and people are now saying, oh, well, you've got Obsidian and you've got the Fallout license, give them the chance to make a New Vegas 2 or whatever it would be. You know, people really like that game. So, yeah, this is crazy. Like, really crazy. Like, hopefully a lot of the people that have worked for those studios have a lot of job security, especially in a time like this, which is good, because Microsoft got a lot of money. They can buy a lot of big studios, and there's a very good chance we might see Microsoft buy in the next couple of years more studios. I feel like that's definitely something that could happen, and probably like big ones, you know. The thing with Microsoft is like, I don't mind them buying stuff, because at the moment they seem to be playing ball. So like, they bought Mojang and obviously own Minecraft, but they still put it on all the systems. And then, you know, we've seen them put Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Cuphead onto Switch. They've been I think there's one other game as well, but they've been very like okay with just putting that stuff. I think Wasteland 3 is on there as well, but they're like very okay with putting games on Switch, which is great, you know. And I'm really happy about that, because now they seem to be playing a lot more ball. Also, people are saying about Doom coming to Smash, or wanting Doom in Smash. Hey, like, Nintendo got a good relationship with Microsoft. They managed to get Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, if they wanted Doom guy now, it'd be pretty easy to do. So yeah, I mean, all in all, this is just huge news, really huge news. I'm really like, just fascinating to see how things go. I just wanted to chuck my 2 cents into this, because yeah, that took me by surprise. And it keeps stopping me from doing other videos. I was like, damn, I want to do other videos, but I've got to talk about this because this is huge, and yeah, like, I think this is a really, really big step for Microsoft, and I think this makes next gen even more exciting, watching competition. So, very, very excited. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, if you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below as always. And until next video, I will see you then.